Have you ever sat down at a pasta chain, full of hope for a tasty bowl of noodles, only to end up with something that tastes like it came from a microwave? What if I told you that most of these places are not worth your time or money? But there are exactly two that stand out as real winners. Today, we're going to talk about the pasta chains you should skip completely, and the pair that might just make you change your mind about chain restaurants. But first, let me set the scene a bit. Think about those times when you're out with family or friends looking for a quick spot to eat. You see the signs for Italian food, smell the garlic in the air, and figure it could be a safe bet. After all, pasta is simple, right? Noodles, sauce, maybe some cheese or meat. How hard can it be to get that right? Well, as it turns out, a lot of these big chains cut corners to save time and cash, and it shows in every bite. They promise comfort and flavor, but often deliver bland, overcooked messes that leave you regretting your choice. On the other hand, a few manage to keep things fresh and satisfying, making the meal feel like it's worth the trip. So, let's get into the details, starting with the ones to avoid. We'll go through each one step by step, sharing what goes wrong and why. Based on what people say and what the food really tastes like, first up is Olive Garden, a place that pulls you in with those famous breadsticks, but often lets you down when the main dish arrives. Picture this: you walk in after a long day, maybe with your kids or a date, and the place looks cozy, like a little piece of Italy right in your neighborhood. The air is filled with the scent of warm bread and garlic, and the server brings over those soft, buttery breadsticks right away. You dip one in, and for a moment, everything seems perfect. Then comes the salad, with its crisp lettuce, tangy red onions, crunchy croutons, and that special dressing everyone talks about. It's fresh and light, a good start that makes you think this meal is going to be great. But then, the pasta shows up, and things start to change. Take their Alfredo sauce, for example. It should be smooth and creamy, with a mix of cheese, cream, and a hint of nutmeg to give it that special touch. Instead, what you get is often a thick, sticky mess that's way too salty, stuck to noodles that were boiled hours ago and just warmed up. It doesn't taste fresh at all, more like something zapped in the kitchen to get it out fast. And the marinara sauce, that's the red one they pour over spaghetti. It tends to be too sweet, almost like someone dumped in extra sugar instead of letting tomatoes and herbs cook slowly for real flavor. After a few bites, you're reaching for your drink, not because the food pairs well with it, but because your mouth feels dry from all that sweetness. Now, about the portions, they look huge, which might seem like a good deal at first. But really, it's just a way to hide how plain the pasta is underneath. The sauces try to cover it up, but the meatballs or chicken pieces taste like they came from a factory, not made with care for good taste. You walk out feeling stuffed, sure, but it's that heavy kind of full where you wish you had eaten something lighter and more enjoyable. When it comes to the bill, a dinner for two can add up to $30 or $40 once you include drinks and maybe an appetizer. For that price, you'd hope for food that feels made just for you, not pulled from a bag and heated. The real value here is mostly in those breadsticks and the salad. Once you move past them, the rest doesn't hold up. Some people stick up for Olive Garden because it's reliable. You always know what to expect, and that can be nice in a busy world. Fair enough, consistency matters. But when a place calls itself an affordable spot for Italian meals, you'd think they'd put more effort into making the flavors true to what Italian cooking is about, instead of rushing everything for speed. If you want to make the most of it, some folks suggest just getting the soup, salad, and breadsticks deal. The soups, like their zuppa toscana with sausage and potatoes, can taste less like they came from a can. However, if the best part of a pasta restaurant isn't the pasta, that says a lot about why it might not be the top choice. So, next time you're tempted by those breadsticks, ask yourself if the rest is worth it. Moving on, let's talk about Fazoli's, the chain that tries to make pasta as fast as grabbing a burger from a drive-thru. At first glance, it sounds convenient. Quick Italian dishes with endless breadsticks, all for cheap. You're in a hurry, maybe picking up food after work or for the family, and you think, why not? But as soon as you open that takeout box, the problems become clear. The noodles are usually too soft, like they've been sitting in hot water forever before getting reheated. The sauces vary a lot. Sometimes they're runny and slide right off. Other times they're thick and sticky from being made in big batches. Their spaghetti with meat sauce is a good example. It should have a deep, cooked all day taste. But often it's just a watery tomato mix with ground meat that seems stretched out with stuff to make it go further. It's nothing like a proper Italian sauce. Then there's the Alfredo again. It can be either too thin to stick or so heavy and salty that it leaves an odd film in your mouth, feeling more fake than real. The breadsticks, which are garlic-flavored, sometimes taste like plain bread with butter, almost like they used hot dog buns instead of something baked fresh. All this adds up to a meal that breaks the dream of good, fast Italian food. On the money side, it's budget-friendly, with most items under $10. That might work if you're short on cash, but even at that low price, the food doesn't live up to what it claims. You might finish eating and still feel like you need something more because it fills you up without any real satisfaction. For families trying to save, it could be okay now and then, but if you're after a nice meal, it's disappointing. The whole setup is like fast food. No sitting around to enjoy, just eat quick with a plastic fork and go. There's no welcoming feel, no effort to make it more than just quick fuel. Pasta deserves better than that. If you try to find a bright side, some say, go for the pizza, or sides where you don't expect as much. Or fill up on breadsticks and pass on the pasta. But honestly, if you're at a pasta place and dodging the pasta, that's a sign to look elsewhere. So, can you really count on drive-through pasta? Or is it better left alone? Now, shifting to macaroni grill, a spot that looks fancy on the outside but doesn't always deliver inside. It used to feel a cut above, with low lights, white cloths on tables, and wine bottles lined up like it's a special place. You can even draw on the paper covers with crayons, which adds a fun, easy vibe for families. But under that, the food often misses the mark. When you order their main pasta items, the look is nice, but the taste falls flat. Sauces are mild, relying on cream or oil without enough spices to make them pop. The noodles are arranged well, but they have that chewy feel of being pre-made and warmed, not fresh like handmade. Dishes with chicken or shrimp, which sound upscale, can come out to done, so you're biting hard instead of enjoying. Another issue is how they load up on sides, big chunks of bread, lots of oil, large veggies, while the pasta gets lost in the mix. You end up full from all that extra stuff, wondering why the star of the show feels secondary. The prices match the fancy image. 2 people can spend $50 or more with drinks and dessert. At that cost, you want a meal that sticks in your mind for good reasons. But it's often just average, like any other chain that To fix it, some like watching the cooks in the open kitchen, or building your own pasta to pick flavors. But even then, the parts feel factory-made, not carefully put together. Many go back because of good memories, family events, birthdays, or dates. That's valid. Those times matter. But if you judge only the food, it's hard to recommend. Is the appeal in the dishes, or just the past moments there? Let's turn to Sbarro, the one you spot in mall food courts under those bright lights. There's a cozy feel to malls' music playing, popcorn smells, and food displays that look tempting when you're hungry from shopping. Sbarro fits right in, not as a main spot, but something you grab on the go. However, once you take a bite of their pasta or baked ziti slice, the appeal drops. The pasta sits out ready to serve, so it's mushy from waiting too long. Sauces are plain, sour, and thick, without the warm tomato and garlic scent you'd want. The baked ziti might look cheesy and inviting under the lamp, but it's dull inside, with stringy cheese that lacks taste and sauce without herbs. They focus on fast service in a busy court, so quality takes a hit. Pasta needs to be made fresh, sauced right then, and hot, not prepped ahead like at Costs are around $10 to $12 for a plate, plus a drink, which is like other quick spots but not low enough to ignore the issues. The experience doesn't linger positively. Some like it for old times, from mall trips in the 90s or 2000s. With the logo bringing back memories, but that can't fix bad pasta. Maybe try a fresh pizza slice instead, but for pasta, it's just filler. Ever picked Sbarro pasta and regretted not getting a pretzel? Next, Bertucci's, which started strong but has lost its spark. It stood out with brick-oven pizzas and solid pasta, a go-to for family meals or dates. The bread smell welcomed you, making it feel above average. But now, things have changed. Pasta sauces lack richness. Dishes seem reheated. Spaghetti with meatballs might have tough meat, full of fillers, and weak sauce. Alfredo is mostly cream, not cheesy. Bread can be dry. The place still aims for comfort, but empty seats and fewer menu choices show it's struggling. Prices are mid-range, $15 or so per meal, and you want value for that. It's worse when you recall better days. Loyal fans say some spots still do well with oven flavors or salads. It could improve by prioritizing quality, but right now, it's stuck not cheap for quick eats, not great for special times. Worth it for memories or just skip? Then there's Spaghetti Warehouse, all about the show with trolley seats and old lamps. It's fun, like an adventure for families and kids, but the food doesn't match. Spaghetti is soft and overdone, sauce too sweet without deep comfort. Big meatballs look good but are dry. They handle crowds fast, so pasta is prepped early, losing freshness. You remember the decor more than the meal. Prices are family-friendly, but quality suffers. It's like a fun spot where food is secondary. Fans say the vibe makes up for it, especially for parties. Lasagna might be better, or stick to starters. But if pasta disappoints, the theme can't save it. Go for decor, or pass if food matters. Johnny Carino's tried to rival Olive Garden with rustic looks, open kitchens, and classic menus. It seemed promising, but pasta portions are big without better taste. Alfredo is heavy, lacking cheese kick. Tomato sauces are sharp, like from a can. Special items like skillet pasta are oily. Bread is soft filler. Salads overloaded. It copies others, but lacks steadiness. Meals vary. Prices $12 to $20 feel wasted on bland food. Fans recall lively times, but that's not enough. Try soups or chicken or desserts. But avoiding pasta here says it all. But wait, not all is bad. Let's switch to the good ones, starting with Maggiano's Little Italy. Right away, it feels different. Warm lights, careful tables, big family servings. It keeps the Italian comfort promise. Portions and flavors balance. Pasta hot with sauces that simmered properly. Marinara has garlic, onion, basil layers. Alfredo creamy without sticking. Baked ziti or lasagna feel, homemade with good seasoning. Sharing style makes it fun, like a real gathering. Prices fair to 40 to 54 family meals, feeding many, or 15 to 20 individual. You leave happy? Decor like wood and photos adds nostalgia. It can slip, but mostly hits. Chains can feel homey here. Finally, Buca di Beppo. Chaotic but fun with decorations, noise, huge plates. It's loud, not quiet, but that works. Pasta for groups, like big meatballs in rich sauce. Flavors bold, leftovers common. It owns its messy style, bringing people together. Prices $20 to $30 per dish, good for groups. Not for calm nights, but for fun ones. Some oily dishes, but overall positive. In the end, most pasta chains disappoint with rushed food, but Maggiano's and Buca di Beppo shine with flavor and vibe. Next time, choose wisely. If you liked this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. What's your take on these spots? Share below.